baby.
You may sit down if you'd like. The bad part about starting in the middle of the tour is it messes up my stories. Alright. This log cabin was built in the 1850s. It's been moved twice. Both times they tore it completely down. Anytime you tear a building down, you are going to lose some wood. And as you can see, we had to replace the wood up there. Now, this building here was sold to us by the Battle Creek Historical Society, along with our schoolhouse and our red barn for $1 a piece. So we always like to say thank you when we come to these buildings. Now, back in 1849, Joseph Bates, who many consider the father of the Seventh-day Church, because when the Adventist Church started, Joseph Bates was one of the only young men. Most everybody else was in their 20s and 30s. He was a retired sea captain. Now, he retired at the age of 35, but by the time the church started, he was 55. Back in those days, the average life expectancy was only 40 years old. Well, in 1849, he's on a preaching tour in northern Indiana. And one night he had a dream. And in this dream, he seemed to be on a stagecoach, a cart pulled by horses. He was headed to the northeast. Well, he rode that stagecoach in his dream farther and farther and farther northeast until it came to a town. The town of... He didn't know. He woke up. He'd seen the town, but he had no idea what the name of it was. But he felt impressed with the Lord telling him to get on a stagecoach and go to the northeast. So he went down to the stagecoach company in South Bend, Indiana. He paid his fare from South Bend, Indiana, the very next town to the northeast. He rode the stagecoach there. He got off. He looked around that town. And no, it was not the town of his dream. So he went back to the stagecoach and he paid his fare from that town again to the next town to the northeast. He rode it there again. He got off. He looked around that town. Once again, it was not the town of his dream. Now, we're not sure how many times he did this, but it took him 3 days. And he went 140 miles from South Bend, Indiana to Jackson, Michigan, about 40 miles to the east of here. When he got off the stagecoach there, he looked around that town and was like, what up? It's the town of my dream. So he had the stagecoach driver throw it on his bag and he got a room for the night. Well, then he said to the hotel owner, are there any Millerite Adventists that live in this town called Jackson? Well, the hotel owner said, yeah, there's about 20 of them. They meet in a home of a man by the name of Dan Palmer. Okay. But there's other people by the sign too. Now Dan Palmer here, we're going to hear about him a little bit later.